Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing good. I'm doing okay. I think I have my camera set a little more normal to how I actually look. The light was so bright on it yesterday, and I didn't have any shades. I bet you heard that one coming. Ha ha. But yeah, it's more the natural color of my skin and hair and whatever. So, yep. That's cool. So it's taken a while. Um Guru, thank you for the tip of uploading and cutting down the time by turning it off. And I think I had done that by accident in the past and it did work. So I'll try that if it's going to, take forever here because I'll still have the video. It's not like. Oh, but the really weird thing is the last couple times, like one time I thought my phone just devoured my video. I thought it was gone, but it wasn't. It showed up in my gallery later, which is really weird. So then I put the phone down and grabbed one of my old ones that I was using and so yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna roll some cigarettes and talk to you all for a while. I hope your day is going good. Mine is not too bad. I can't complain. Um, well, it's wet and rainy out. I went outside with the kitties a couple times and um fed them once and then brought them out some other snacks that I had, some leftover chips and different things because they eat everything. But um, we just pretty much give them either real food or I'm not promoting anybody, but I think I have told people this before. We changed cat foods with Doug's cat was really sick on his deathbed and they said he had thyroid problems and we got medicine and all that and changed to Purina Naturals and he's been doing much better on that. So there's no dyes or nothing fake in there. I didn't read all the actual ingredients, but I haven't taken the time to do that, but they've been on it for about a month now, and he only had an upset tummy one time instead of like every day as he was so sick. Um, and with the same symptoms that I hear other people's pets are going through, like I can't remember who it was I ran across. I think it might have been one of the Lisas on Brucey's all, like Lisa B, maybe? Is it you that have the Siamese cat that's sick? Your older kitty? Maybe that stuff will help them because last year my older cat um died, then 6 months later my dog died, or it was like my cat, my horse, my dog, something like that, all within 6 months. And they all had similar symptoms like convulsing, wheezing, dizziness, all those type of symptoms like that. So I don't know. But it's a little more expensive, but they don't need as much. From what I can tell, it's worth the investment, I think. So, I mean, it's I think it's a 15-pound bag for like about 35 bucks versus like a 20-pound bag of something else that might be like $19. So it's not really, I guess you actually get about a third more out of the other stuff, but if it's saving their lives, it's worth it. And if they eat less, which I've noticed mine are. So, but even the outside ones have been getting that too. So, and they eat mice and everything or anything, around here. So, yeah. I'm not going to share the link, but some of you might watch Leak Project. There was a man on there, Charles something or another, and he's into the Sufi religion, like the twirling dervishes and whatever. Not a religion I would recommend. There's dark aspects of it, like they're all most religions. So that's kind of the topic of my video today is dark witchcraft and those that participate in those type of things. And there's an old adage that all of it is um not to be trifled with. Well, the Catholics are really big on their candles, so is the Jewish persuasion, and just about every Protestant or Methodist type church I think that I've ever even encountered. So I think most religions have a aspect of um, incantations and sacrifice. Even the tone of a hymn, gospels, are um, something odd about them. You ever feel kind of like melancholy in a church, or like sad, or I mean, shouldn't going to church make you happy? I think if you're at a really open evangelical one, or a Baptist clapping their hands and all that, that's probably, a little less stodgy than a lot of them. But to me, a lot of religions and churches are really depressive. Did you ever notice that? It's like Bruce Seasall said, he gets depressed when he goes into a church. Yes, me too. Especially when I got married. No, not this time. I only got, well, no, I got married in a church twice. And the last time wasn't in a church, it was in my yard. Um, so I don't have a good track record with churches, I guess is what I'm saying. Yeah, they depress me. So, but yeah, there is a odd feeling about it. And just think of all the baptisms and the weddings and the deaths, the funerals, wakes, all the stuff that has gone on inside the walls of that temple, so to speak, um, and the people involved with it, you know. So, and you better believe these pastors out there that have their own churches, they know just who their master is. Believe me. Um, Christ can't be found in the churches. It even says that in the Bible, but they're not going to read you that when you're sitting in a pew. And they pass around the offering plate and want you to put money in there. They're not going to tell you not to put any money in there, and that Christ isn't even in the church, and what it actually means, the church meaning the people. But a lot of the twisty little sneaky things want to take the feminine spirit out of the equation of the Trinity, and so they'll word it differently. Like, just a minute, see if I can make my point. I sort of lost it there a minute. Shoot. Ah, doggone it. Because the cat was making noise. I'll get back there. Just a minute. Yeah, they want their money. They're not going to tell you that Christ can't be found in the church, and that part is in the scriptures, and you know, they won't tell you that. God told people in the Old Testament to build a temple, but he was talking about your body, and a lot of people know that too, but they want to call the church the bride of Christ, which is not even close, when the Father and the Son are one, but the Father and the Mother is who made the Christ Spirit. And of course, Christ was with them at the beginning, just like the cells of me were with my great, 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 great grandmother, Pocahontas, long time ago. She was carrying little me around in her cells inside her body. You know, if you think of it like that, that's how Christ was with the Father from the beginning, you know. But a lot of people want to twist that part too to suit their own agendas and whatever. And they can make up any kind of nonsense as long as they can get people to believe that. And nowadays, even it doesn't matter. They can go and chop things off and add things on, and they're still going to tell you that two men created life on this planet instead of the traditional way. They'll insist, they'll push this in their doctrines, no matter what. They're going to keep pushing it and never mention the woman once. Now the Catholics will mention the mother of creation. Honestly, they've twisted that all up too, so they've got so many things that they're warped on. I can't even go into that one. If I do, it's not that I'm afraid of insulting anybody, because if you've studied the Catholic religion, you know what I'm talking about. There's just so many indiscrepancies and so many things that they took out at the time of the Crusades, and like when they invaded Cromwell and those type of things, took over the churches, took over the Christian churches, and forced them into the Catholic belief system and the taxes that they wanted the people to pay. And it is all about money. It's still all about money with these people, you know. So, but I've had well, this time of year, people really are dabbling in cultish activities and just ignoring it, you know. Believe me, and this is, I can't say it any simpler. And I'm not going to put you down if that's, that's your beliefs and who you are. That's, if it sets you back, that's one thing. If it sets other people back, that's an entirely different thing. There you have to search your heart real deep with every move that you make on this planet, because it's not a game. I don't know how I can explain it any different than that. Um, I'm trying to reach you. I'm trying to really, really stop you from hurting yourself, you know. But moreover, stop you from intentionally hurting other people, you know, because that really is what it boils down to. You know, geez, stuff looks green, has kind of a green tint to it today. I don't know. I think I still got a little bit of adjusting. It's just about right though, because I really don't look as white as I did yesterday. I'm actually really dark. You know, like here's my tubes. See my hand compared to my tubes is that's white, and this is me. You know, so yeah. So um it's just that it's so acceptable. It's not that there aren't energies and stuff in like rocks and whatever. Oh yeah, there you better believe there are. Think it's cool. Brucey's all had a bracelet on. I think it might have been Christy Lindsay that sent him magnets. When I can afford to, I also would like to send them something, um, some meteorites, or with your bracelet, Bruce, if it's magnetic, go out and put it by rocks and see if any of your rocks around your area, or use a different magnet. A big one works. I've got a big magnet. You can even take ones out of speakers and use them giant magnets work really good, and you can literally pick meteorites up off the ground that have come through our atmosphere, and you'll be able to tell because of the magnetism, you know. So they've been ionically charged coming through. So yeah, if and when I ever am able to do that, I'd like to send you some of them. What's really cool is you get ones that are sort of round shaped. My grandmother was dying in the hospital of end stage ovarian cancer, or um not ovarian, colon cancer. And I brought her a box of meteorites and some little different magnets, like little bars of magnets, and ones that were like little rods. And so she had like a little kit of magnets and meteorites, and that she could sit and kind of play with. And she loved rocks and shells and all those types of things like I do too. So yeah, that I even brought her a pine tree from Minnesota. I think I brought about 5 of them down to her yard, and I don't think any of them survived. She was in Austin, Texas, and she did, however, have one of the prettiest yards, where she was growing roses, not a desert rose, but roses in the desert, which was really unique for down around there, to see a yard with some of the vegetation that she had in it. She was born in Minnesota, and my mother was born in Minnesota. My um, grandfather was born in Minnesota, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. the one that was a cop, and yeah, he looked kind of like me, tall and darker than me though, because he had more native in him. So, but just like the back of my hair has like a blonde streak, and now it's getting gray in there. He had complete gray in the middle of his hair when he was in his 40s. So, and I had a great grandmother that hardly had any gray, even up until she was about 80 years old. So, which is pretty cool. I'm not ever gonna dye mine. I even when I had run away when I was young and I bleached out my hair and then put tint in it when I was growing it back. Um, but I was blonde for a while, and I was born blonde and then stayed that way till I was about 9. But I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to see how it all plays out and show everybody what it's like to get old and explain it to you. And it sucks. If you're young, I wouldn't recommend it. No. Of course, there's not much you can do about it, really, you know, unless you don't want to live. That's. I don't always want to. And a lot of people might think, well, that sounds really ungrateful. Or I have faith I'm going to have a better life after this one. So why would I want? I mean, I'm grateful enough for the pleasant things in life, but that they don't outweigh the bad things. There's far more bad things going on, you know. It's just like everybody, anti-Semitic. Do you even know what that means? That could go towards anybody or anybody's culture, you know. But it's always like, oh, if you don't like the Jewish people, then you're racist, or you know, you prove to me Hitler wasn't cleansing his country from people that would screw little babies. You prove that to me first. Then we'll talk about giving people from the Holocaust money from the American people. I'm not a Hitler fan, don't get me wrong. I'm just throwing some facts in there of the Dark Cabal's banking cartel that is all Israelite owned. And I'm supposed to what? Feel sorry because they won't give one of their own money, but they want us to? It just doesn't make any sense. One of my subs, their name is Homeless in America. You think that makes me feel very well? No, it doesn't. Would I let Homeless in America in my house? Yeah. As long as you're a decent human being, if you need a place and you can get here, I'll help you out. I mean, if you're an asshole and get here, I'll help you out again. But I mean, I would give you the benefit of the doubt. For real. With all my heart. Anything I can give you, you know. I don't have much, but we always have food and it's warm and, you know. So, but yeah, there's a lot of people, a lot. See, that's what it's leading up to right there. What all of this is leading up to is the acceptance of having people that call themselves the chosen people being overlords of the entire planet. Everywhere they go, they get run out. Everywhere. So, and I'm no different. I'm not going to pretend. I've been treated entirely like shit by these people all my life. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that's not who they are, no matter what country they come from. That's their bloodline and that's their family. And yeah, to them, you're not important at all. You're goyim, you're cattle. I don't take too kindly to being called a cattle for one thing, and I'm going to say it like it is. And if there's somebody of that heritage listening to me, keep this in mind. I have that bloodline in my background too, but I am going to just spit it out right here. Oh, God forgive me if I hurt anybody's feelings, but this is directed to the people of the dark cabal of that specific bloodline. You're short, you have a fat ass, and you are ugly. And the reason why you're malformed like that is because how you think inside yourself. Okay, I just said it. I might have lost some people there. Well, if you've been through what I've been through, or if you don't care to know what I've been through and can just ignore that, see ya. I think I lost somebody last week by saying bye bye. Bye bye. You know, because this is the bloodline that actually literally um murdered a child of mine and mistreated my other two. Literally, when I had a restraining order, took me to court to have the restraining order overturned so they could mistreat my children in the most vile ways. So these are the people I'm talking to. Nobody else. And I don't care what you look like. I really don't. I've struggled with my weight. It's just that I just don't stay there and accept it. I'm a fighter, you know? And a lot of people, we are malnutrition because we know the vitamins are lacking in our food. It's not that the earth isn't capable of producing good food anymore. That's a bunch of hooey right there. It's that the farming practices are lax and they don't do it the right way, you know? Using artificial fertilizers when they could, instead of, they could go to the stock yards and get all the manure they wanted. Around here, there's nobody in my whole state that is going to have to want for fertilizer. The only thing that's going to happen is people's ability to purchase food because they're going to make it so expensive in the stores you will not be able to afford it. Do you hear about those strawberries that they make? I think it's in France. If I'm not mistaken, they're selling them to restaurants in um, New York and other. One strawberry is like $8 for one so-called perfect berry. You know, that's crazy. I remember picking berries when I was a kid. That's a hard job. Crawling around in the black dirt and the vines would like cut you all up, and it's hard to do that and wear gloves because you can't feel the berries when you're pulling them off the vines. But then another problem with it is when you have kids like me helping you pick berries until I got older, I would want to eat a lot of them. And then you get sick out in the heat, out in the field from the natural sugars. I did that one time. I was pretty sick. You know, I even picked berries to try and feed my child. And then I did that for a few days. And then I got a job at a resort up where I lived before my house burnt down. Um, yeah, but yeah, I was painting the resort and mowing the grass and those types of things. So I just want to try and reach people that might take lightly the spiritness of this whole holiday is not anything to do with God in your heart at all. And if I can appeal my case to you to consider not using any crafts of the dark cabal on this holiday, if I can appeal my case to you, please don't do it. You might lead one soul astray. They could end up dying, and it could be on us. Is not something I would want to even consider. It's not a joke. Please, I'm just asking you. Ask God in your heart. If you have God in your heart, or if you think that isn't that big of a deal, I guess that's nothing I can do about it there. I'm sure a lot of people think, well, you say you're a Christian and you swear. Yeah, well, you got me there, you know. But I'm not swearing around anybody that's going to go kill themselves because of it. I'm not teaching them a craft or a dark art. And if you are, like even tarot cards or um, incorporating Christianity in there and astrology, that's actually the trifecta of the whole thing. That's how it's meant to be done. If you don't do it the right way, you don't know the whole scope of everything. I don't know. I just hope you'll just consider it. And like I said, if it's going to happen anyway, it's going to happen. And, I can see people having fun and appreciate their good time for them and think, hope there's other people that see things the way I have and do and maybe been through some of the same things I've been through, and you can consider that maybe it's not a good idea. I don't know. Certainly not a game. So I guess that was my message today. I'm not trying to harp on you. I'm not trying to put you down. I've studied it all, but I haven't tried it all because you know what? The little bit that I did get into, I knew there was something wrong. Well, the whole reason why I knew there was something wrong is because